Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community. Say, I'm skinny in my head. Yeah, I'm skinny, like I said.
Our favorite high-calorie human is back on her BS and may have just set a world record for new levels of Delulu. Plus-sized rapper Dank Demoss, the one you may remember from the show a few weeks ago, who sued Lyft after a driver said she couldn't fit into his car.
The Detroit rapper is going viral for something other than her music.
Fans know her as Dank Demoss, and they're fuming after a Lyft driver allegedly denied her a ride because of her size.
Well, she just did an interview over on The Breakfast Club, a very popular radio show hosted by Charlamange, that I think sums up everything that's wrong with modern American culture and the complete lack of accountability and the constant coddling of delusion that we have in this country. We're going to break it down and buckle up and get ready for a wild, wild ride, guys. The interview started strong as she couldn't fit into the pretty large seat they had at the table, and they had to come up with a creative solution instead. Take a look.
How you? Good morning. You good?
Good morning.
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
Hi,
How are you?
Stormy.
What's happening? Hey, King. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, King.
Got it. Yep. This the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
There's one more. A bigger chair or something.
Is she already little?
We had
This is what I'm talking about. Good. This is the accommodation.
There you go.
Not the couch. They had to bring out a full couch for her to sit on because she couldn't fit into the desk chair. I mean, part of me wants to laugh at this, but part of me wants to cry because this isn't healthy and she's not going to be around for a long time at that weight. But she seems to think that the solution is just for society to accommodate her and other people who are 500 pounds, not to try to help them return to a healthy weight. By the way, guys, can we talk about the fact that this, ironically, the beginning of this, where she can't fit into the chair and needs an entire couch brought over for her to sit in, kind of proves the Lyft driver right when he argued that she couldn't fit into his seat and would get stuck. Like, good luck with that lawsuit, babe. I don't know that you're gonna win. Now, here's the part that had me pulling my hair out, because apparently a new slur just dropped, guys. Take a listen.
You know, you walked in and, you know, you said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, now this is what I'm talking about, accommodations, right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people that are plus size.
But we should, though. We should, because we not all the same, you know? Mm-hmm. I feel like we should. Like, why not? I feel like a lot of times people think that bigger people, obese, the F word people should just be in a house, when it's like, we not. Word? Yeah, the F word. I'm not.
The word that you can't say in your house, fat. You don't like it.
Oh,
I'm not saying that word.
Yeah, we don't need it.
Now we can't say fat. Now fat is a slur. The F word, bruh. I mean, look, I can't keep up because I've seen TikTok activists talking about fat is beautiful, fat positivity, reclaiming fat, and now she's out here acting like it's the N-word or something you can't say on radio. Girl, no. It's a word. It can be used meanly, and I don't support that. I don't support bullying or shaming anyone, but it can also just be used to describe things accurately. And this thing where they call it the F word, the hosts tried to play along and indulge this nonsense, and here's what happened.
It could be like some of the clothes that the F people wear, you know, with things hanging out, and y'all, you know, try to wear things that the smart, like, the S people be wearing.
I don't live in a world where the skinny people, when the F people, that's not my reality. I am a human being. I am regular.
The language here turned into a joke real quick. It becomes hard to follow what people are saying. And why are we coddling insanity? Why are we accepting a false premise that the word fat is a slur? It is not a slur. It is a descriptor that can be used meanly, accurately, neutrally, kindly, or anywhere in between. And we don't need to start talking about the S people versus the F people. What? Am I going crazy, y'all? Is it just me? And I'm sorry, babe, but you're a lot of things. you're not regular. Regular people aren't 500 pounds. So at least in this context, you're not regular. And you can't just, that would be like me saying, I'm short, even though I'm 6'3". Like, I'm objectively not short. And just if I identify as short or feel short, I'm still not short. And in the context of body size, you are not regular. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, doesn't mean you're ugly, doesn't mean you're not a beautiful human being deserving of respect and empathy and love. You are all of those things, just like all of us are. Your body size isn't regular, and you can't just look at us, state an obviously untrue thing, and gaslight us and expect us to be so afraid of offending you that we're not going to point out that what you're saying isn't true. That's not going to work on me, at least, babe. I'm going to say it how it is, and I'm not going to try to hurt anyone's feelings, but if feelings are hurt by basic facts, so be it at some point. Now, here's the part of the interview that frankly made me crash out, like made me want to scream out loud and shake the screen because it's so maddening. It's actually offensive to my soul. But first, a quick message from today's sponsor. Valentine's Day is on the horizon, and let's face it, men can be tough to shop for. That's why I'm excited to partner with today's sponsor, Exter, who can help you find the perfect wallet to gift the man in your life this Valentine's Day. Their wallets are slim, sleek, and super convenient, with quick card access and built-in technology that protects your cards from scammers who steal credit card information with wireless scanning. Plus, their Finder card accessory is perfect for a guy who sometimes loses his wallet. I wouldn't know anything about that. For Exter's special Valentine's Day sale, you can get 30% off now. Just go to the link on screen or in the description and use promo code BRAD to unlock further savings. You'll be glad you did. Now back to today's show.
I just feel like it should be accommodated. Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community, all those other communities. I just feel like we outside.
You compared your situation to the LGBTQ, and a lot of people would say, well, LGBTQ people don't have a choice to be gay or whatever, but you have a choice to be plus size. Mm-hmm. So they want you to make better choices, eat right, work out, lose the weight.
I cut the clip here because she had no real response to this and the topic was quickly changed. But this is exactly the point. I'm so glad Charlamagne brought this up to push back on this insane notion. Being 500 or 600 pounds is, in almost all circumstances, a choice that is to a large extent within your control. Some people do have unique medical conditions or thyroid issues that make it very hard to lose weight and make it very easy to gain weight. And I have compassion and empathy for those people, though it's still not like set into stone that they will be 600 pounds and there's nothing they can do about it. It is harder for them than it is for someone like me, certainly. But that is not most massively overweight people in this country. It's a tiny fraction of them. And by and large, this stuff is a product of your choices. We are not talking about somebody who's got a few extra pounds around the rib cage or has a slight dad bod or anything like that. We're not talking about a woman who gave birth and hasn't lost all the weight yet or whatever it may be. We're talking about people with hundreds of pounds of excess fat on their body. That is a choice. That is something that happens because of the choices that you make. So to compare it to being gay, which is something people can't change about themselves and often struggle and fight and try very hard to not be that way, and it doesn't work, is insane and, yes, offensive. Part of the reason it's wrong to discriminate against people for being gay is that they can't help it. It's an intrinsic trait, like skin color, though a little different, but it's similar in that sense. I certainly don't want people to be mean to morbidly obese people. I don't think that helps anything, but treating them differently in some context is not inherently evil or immoral the way it is to discriminate against somebody because of their skin color or something, because you're holding people accountable for their choices, not holding things against them that are beyond their control. There's a very fundamental and important distinction there that these people are trying to blur. And I will not stand for it because it's totally illogical and honestly undermines the protections and empathy and sympathy that people have for immutable traits and groups that we don't want to be discriminated against when you start conflating it with things that are literally a choice. But here's the funniest, I guess, but also like most delusional part of the entire interview.
I don't think like that. Like I said in the interview, I don't have a big person head. Like I don't have no, for real, y'all. For real, no, look. I don't have a big person mindset. I'm skinny in my head. I'm skinny, like I said.
Y'all, they were trying so hard to indulge her and coddle her and go along with her delulu, but even they had to laugh when she hit them with the "I'm skinny in my head." Baby, you may be a lot of things in your head, in the real world, in an alternate universe, but in none of them is skinny one of them. Like, seriously, we should treat this with the same seriousness and credulity that we would treat it if somebody said, "I am a zebra in my head." And we can look at them and see they are not, in fact, covered in black and white stripes. They don't have 4 legs, so they're not, in fact, a zebra, and how they feel in their head in this context is irrelevant. They're still not. And I'm sorry, but she's got to either be totally delusional or, to some extent, be trolling us for rage bait. But here's the part of this that kind of gave the game away for me, at least a little bit.
And you said you got an OnlyFans?
I do.
Oh, they running it up too.
They run it up on OnlyFans.
Man, they running it up.
I don't know. Y'all just gonna have to go see.
How much you making on that OnlyFans?
Dank Demoss, you know.
How much you making?
The money coming in?
What you making a month?
Of course, she has an OnlyFans, and of course it's massively popular. Men, straight men, I blame you. You're going to hell for that. This explains it to me to some extent, because we've seen this a lot where internet personalities and aspiring OnlyFans people purposefully go and say and do outrageous things to draw attention to themselves so more people subscribe. It's kind of a vicious cycle of rage bait that we fall into and we play into when we cover them and talk about them like this. But this is just so maddening to me that I couldn't resist. Like, apparently some of you men can't resist this temptress's OnlyFans. I'm not gonna lie, watching that content would be my personal Vietnam. And it's kind of sad. Like, I'm not one to kink shame. If you're into really very overweight people, I guess that's fine, but they are like slowly killing themselves. They are taking decades off their lifespan with this incredibly unhealthy behavior and lifestyle, and you're like into that? That's like your thing? I don't know. I personally would not feel great about encouraging that behavior. And more importantly, I think we just need a serious cultural reckoning where accountability and personal responsibility makes a comeback. And people stop constantly playing the victim and acting like they're not responsible for the products of their choices, or like the entire world has to conform to their feelings and their expectations. This is a sickness, and I'm not talking about the health issues. It's a cultural sickness where personal responsibility is going the way of the dodo bird. And this is just one of many examples, and it's a real problem. What do you guys think? Are you fans of Dank Demoss? Will you be checking out her OnlyFans? I hope not. Let me know in the comments. I do want to hear from you guys. Do hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet.